Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam. I hope all of you are doing well. Now, in this particular video, we are going to deal with chapter 3 of your science syllabus for students of CBSE class 6. And this is from your new NCERT textbook, Curiosity. 2 points. This particular chapter is called Mindful Eating, a Path to a Healthy Body. इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब यह है कि आप क्या खाते हैं? What do you eat? And how is it correlated to a healthy body and mind? That's what this chapter is going to talk about. So we are going to learn all about proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, different diseases because of less intake of different kinds of nutrients, including minerals, all that. So it's going to be a fascinating chapter because iska wasta सीधा सीधा आप क्या खाते हैं नाश्ते में, ब्रेकफास्ट, लंच एंड डिनर, उससे डायरेक्टली कोरिलेटेड होगा. एंड इफ यू आर द काइंड ऑफ पर्सन who eats a lot of chips, burgers, pizzas, अभी उससे सावधान होने की जरूरत है. क्यों? वो मैं इस चैप्टर की वीडियो में बताऊंगा. So let's get started.
So as I said, this is an extremely important chapter that will directly correlate to your life on a daily basis. You will come to know why your parents insist that you should have a papaya, an orange, why there should be regular salt intake, why you should drink water on a regular basis. So all that will be explained in this particular chapter. Mindful eating, a path to a healthy body. Okay, that's what we want. So the chapter starts with Medhu and Mishti, two characters who have been introduced. Read thought of the day. Do you have thought of the day on your school notice board? School assembly में thought of the day and the news of the day मैं पढ़ता था, right from class 4. So तब से मेरे को stage पे जाकर public speaking in a sense करने की आदत है. So you don't have the fear of the stage. Very important. So these two students read the thought of the day, यानी कि आज का विचार on the notice board, which says Anena Jatani Jivanti, which means it's a Sanskrit saying, which means food gives life to living beings. We know that. Okay, food is obviously important. Without food, what will you do? So let's understand in depth what exactly it means. Okay, so all of us obviously eat food. The food that people in northern part of India would be different from the kind of food that people eat in the southern part of India, people eat in the eastern part and the western part, because everyone has their own unique food habits. Okay, so you can list out Monday to Sunday क्या खाया. अगर हर रोज आपको आलू के पराठे दे दिए जाएं और உங்களுக்கு எவ்ரிடே இட்லி சாம்பார் பிரேக்ஃபாஸ்ட் லஞ்ச் டின்னர்ல கொடுத்தா உங்களுக்கு போர் அடிக்கும் இல்லையா? நான் தமிழ்ல பேசினேன். I mean I spoke in Tamil. So if you eat the same idli sambar masala dosa every day, or if you eat the same dhokla every day, or if you eat the same chole bhature every day, you would get bored. Variety is a spice of life. So every day, so list out in this particular thing, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. What is it that you eat? So what observations can you make about your food? See, I just want to tell you that the whole idea first is to do a line by line explanation of your chapter from your NCERT textbook. Uske baad, subsequently, there are three stages in which I'm going to do this. Pehla step, to make you understand every bit of the chapter. Okay, so theory will be clear. Uske baad, we will do some question and answers after a month or so. Then I will, once there are quality question banks which come into the market, I will do a survey of different books and I will recommend to you which book, if you want, you should invest in, you should buy, so that it can help you prepare better for your examinations. Okay, which is because these are new books for the 2024-25 batch. So these are new textbooks that you have got. So it will take time. So I'm expecting that most of them will be out in the month of September. At least that's my guess. So once that is done, I will recommend to you. And I mean, I have by and large, I have done a lot for CBSE 11-12. I have done for ICSE class 9 to 12. I have seen a pattern, हर publisher का एक style होता है और कुछ styles don't work. वो सिर्फ अपना खुद का लगा देते हैं and it does not really work according to what the student really needs. So anyway, we will come to that after a month or so. Anyway, So compare your list with those prepared by your friends. All that you have to do. This doesn't mean. So basically, to say that there is diversity in food, we read about diversity in the earlier chapter, right? Remember? So now we are talking about diversity of food in chapter number 2. Now, food in different regions, what I just now mentioned. So there are different regions. You should know what kind of food does your friend who is probably from Tamil Nadu eats, or your friend who is probably from Gujarat eats, or your friend who is from Bihar eats. So you should know all that. Okay. ऐसा नहीं है कि everybody eats aloo ka paratha through the country. Now, like for example, let's see this. Punjab, if you are a child living in Punjab, the locally grown crops are maize, gehu, wheat, chana, and different kinds of pulses, tur dal, arhar dal, everything. Okay. What do you make out of this? You make makke di roti, you make sarson da saag with it, you eat chole bhature, but don't eat chole bhature every day. Okay. You eat lovely, yummy paratha, aloo ka paratha, mooli ka paratha, I mean, different kinds of parathas. Halwa, wow. Kheer, my favorite, which is called paisam in Tamil. Then you have things to drink like lassi in those big glasses in Punjab. I know. I grew up in Delhi, so I'm very familiar with the North Indian culture. Then you have chach, which is buttermilk. Then you have milk and tea. Okay, these are the things to drink. These are the things to eat. In a state like Karnataka, which is in the southern part of India, you have what are the crops which are grown? You have rice, you have ragi, you have udad, dal, and you have coconut trees in Kerala mainly, also in Karnataka. What do you make out of that? What are the kind of staple food that you have in a state like Karnataka or in Andhra or in Kerala or in Tamil Nadu? Idli, dosa, sambar, coconut chutney, the chutney which is ground with from the coconut. Then ragi mudde, which is specifically in Karnataka, palya, rasam, which is a very nice kind of, I mean, it's pretty liquid, more liquid than sambar, which we all love to drink. And also you can mix it with rice and rasam rice. You have buttermilk, which is called sambaram in Tamil and also in Kerala, coffee and tea. Then if you go to a state like Manipur in the northeastern part of India, you have crops like rice, bamboo, and soya bean. And what are the kind of traditional food items? Rice, then the chutney is called as erumba. Please note this down. It's interesting. Even from a quiz point of view, it can be quite interesting to know all these small details. Utti, even I did not know this. Yellow peas and green onion curry is known as utti. Singju, kangsoy. Okay, these are other dishes which are made. You would do well to Google the meaning and find out what does singju and kangsoy mean. This is your first homework question. And then they drink black tea. You can, if you have a classmate from any other state apart from these three mentioned, please discuss with him or her and find out what do they drink and eat. It will be useful general knowledge information for you. Okay. Why do we see diversity in traditional food consumed in various states in the country? Now, basically what it means is that there is a correlation, and this is important. There is a correlation between what is grown and what is the food made. So if you see, because rice is grown more in the southern states in India, that's why you have food items like idli, dosa, or even kheer, which also uses rice, made, because rice is the maximum part of southern part of India, you find rice being grown. So the traditional food of any state is based on the crops grown in the state, which is precisely what I told you just now. India, एक agricultural country है. There is 47%. I might just give you this. According to the 2022-23 economic survey, 47% of our population is dependent directly or indirectly on agriculture. So we are largely an agrarian country, okay, which means dependent on farming, dependent on krishi. So you have various crops. If you have wheat grown more in a state like Punjab, if you have sugarcane grown more in a state like Uttar Pradesh and Karnataka and Maharashtra, if you have rice grown in states like Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, it is essentially because of the way the entire thing, or jute in West Bengal, right? So you have different kinds of crops grown in different parts of the country. Okay. So in various regions of India, the choice of food, therefore, may vary according to the cultivation of food crops in that particular region, taste preferences, culture, and tradition. So, अगर आपसे प्रश्न पूछा जाए that on what basis is the a region decides that this is our traditional food, so you need to make that correlation between the crops grown in that area and the food that is consumed in that area. Okay, क्वेश्चन आंसर्स करते वक्त मैं पूरा बता दूंगा, बट दिस इज द बेसिक फंडा, समझ में आ जाना चाहिए. अभी समझो, understand it, and then you can write it in your own language. It does not matter. Now, how have cooking practices changed over time? Now, cooking practices also has changed, and this is a very interesting part of this particular chapter. पहले इस तरह की रसोई होती थी, आग में अंदर लकड़ी डालते थे. You used to put these wooden pieces, right, that you are seeing out here. It is known as chulha in Hindi. It is a traditional, so in Tamil and Malayalam, you would call it aduppu. Aduppu, it's I can say in English, I can say it will not be adep. So aduppu, that's how, with an emphasis on the P. That's what the word would be in Tamil and Malayalam for chulha. But now you have these kind of gas stoves in almost every urban household in the country, including your house most likely, right? Abhi to you get those burners, you don't even have those flames. Hot plates में भी cooking होती है. Then पहले के जमाने में you had this stone grinder. अगर चटनी बनाना हो, या अगर पहले डोसा, when I was a child we used to have that, and the grinder used to be done like this, sometimes मम्मी tired हो जाती थी तो she used to say कि तुम कर दो, so बैठ के ऐसे ऐसे करके उसको grind करना होता था. या this used to, it's called silbatta. In again Tamil and Malayalam it would be called ami. Okay, my children in Tamil Nadu and Kerala would be able to understand this. It would be called ami. But now you have the mixie and the grinder, and in one touch of a button करके हो जाता है ना? So that's how changes in cooking tools over time has taken place. So if you are asked for two examples, you can cite these two examples. Clear till here? Great. Now, what are your findings from the interviews you conducted? Now, cooking practices which are known as culinary practices. अगर आपको ये word नया लगता है तो basically इसका मतलब है anything related to cooking. Okay. It has changed over a time. पहले चूल्हा में होता था, अभी मॉडर्न गैस स्टोव है. पहले सिलबट्टा में होता था, अभी ग्राइंडर एंड मिक्सी वगैरह है. So that's how things have changed. Now, what are the components of food? Food में होता क्या है? खाने में होता क्या है? This is now we are getting deep into food. हम पूरे food का analysis कर रहे हैं. We are analyzing what exactly is in food. And I must tell you, thank you very much to some very kind comments and messages that was sent to me about some of our videos on Hindi, English, and the earlier chapters on science. So thank you very much for your kind words. Please keep the trust. The whole idea is to make the entire CBSE Class 6 new textbooks of NCERT as easy as possible, as understandable as possible for all of you. Okay, so thank you very much. Please subscribe to the channel. I was looking at the statistics. 72% of those students who are using the content on CBSE with Sudhir have not subscribed to the channel. Subscription is free of cost. You don't have to pay any money, not even one naya paisa to subscribe. But when you subscribe, एक आइडिया मिल जाता है कि ओ इतने सारे 6th class के students हैं यहाँ पर, so I need to do more for class 6 students out here, right? So it gives a sense of support, a sense of motivation that, oh, these many subscribers, so that means there is so much of interest in what we are putting out, and it kind of inspires and motivates me to put out more and better videos for each one of you. So अगर आप कंटेंट को यूज कर रहे हैं, सो एक सब्सक्राइब बटन को दबा दीजिए, बेल की घंटी को दबा दीजिए, सो दैट यू गेट द नोटिफिकेशन. दैट्स ऑल वी आर आस्किंग. वी आर नॉट आस्किंग फॉर एनी मनी. इट्स एब्सोल्युटली फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट. ओके, Now let's move on. Medhu and Mishti visit the traditional food festival organized in their school. The theme of the festival is eat healthy, live healthy, and that's what we want, right? Health is wealth. So you have Rajasthani food, Gujarati food, Assamese food, everybody's eating. Now, Dr. Poshita, who is a nutritional expert, she explains to students that health is wealth. That's what I just now said. Okay. Now, जस्ट इमेजिन अगर आपने एक दिन एक खाना मिस कर दिया, लंच मिस हो गया, मेरा लंच मिस हो जाता है तो मेरा 1-2 घंटे बाद you start feeling very uncomfortable, very uneasy, right? I'm sure it must be happening to all of you. We feel tired, we feel irritated, we feel less energetic when we don't eat for some time. Why does that happen? Have you ever thought, why does it happen? How does my entire body know कि यहाँ पे पेट्रोल नहीं गया? पेट्रोल मतलब पेट्रोल नहीं, खाना नहीं गया. Petrol is like fuel. It's fuel. The food is the fuel for the body, right? So how does the body and the mind know that? That's because glucose की कमी हो जाती है, right? Because glucose is like energy. Okay, glucose provides instant energy. The food that goes into your stomach provides you with instant energy. Glucose is an example of what is called a carbohydrate. Please write down in your notebook. What are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are one of the primary sources of energy in our diet. This is important. They are primary sources of energy. They provide you with the energy. And where does it come from? It comes from potato, aloo. It comes from ganna, sugarcane. It comes from banana. Have you ever seen? Just do one thing. Stop this video. Just Google Dhoni eating banana. Okay. Ya Tendulkar eating banana. Okay. Have you seen during the break, PV Sindhu, she would eat a banana. जब भी break होता है बैडमिंटन में या tennis court पे, haven't you seen tennis players eating banana? Why do they eat a kela in between the breaks? Because during play. In between play during the break, because it is a source of carbohydrate. So banana, sugarcane, potato, sweet potato, wheat, rice, bajra, maize, mango, pineapple, all these are examples. They provide you with carbohydrates. So in your diet, ensure that you always have these food items, these fruits you need to have, these cereals you need to have in your diet. पहली बात समझ लेना. Now आपको समझ में आया? Your mother, why does she say that eat a banana? Very important. So these are the sources of carbohydrates, and glucose is a form of example of carbohydrate, and glucose is the one that provides you with instant energy. Very important. So common sugar, chini, is also a carbohydrate. However, you should not take too much of sugar. It's always not considered. And as you grow older, you will realize that sugar is not considered very good for health. Laddus, we like to eat them in winter because besan or the atta is one of the major ingredients. Besan ke laddu, ingredients of laddus, and you mix them with ghee, etc. Not considered because of cholesterol वगैरह भी हो जाता है, and that's something which is called fat. Now this is classified as fat. Fat क्या है? Carbohydrate, number one. Number two, fat. Okay. So sources of fat can be from plants or animals. So my grandma told me that laddus rich in ghee and nuts. So ghee खा सकते हैं, लेकिन ghee is not always very good. It can lead to cholesterol. Cholesterol का spelling बोले तो cholesterol. If you ask your father and mother, they'll say too much of cholesterol is not good for the heart, especially. It leads to blockage of the arteries subsequently as we age. Young age में चलता है. So sources of fats can be plants or animals. Nuts, यानी कि मूंगफली, groundnut, walnut, coconut, नारियल या almonds, and seeds such as pumpkin के seeds, and sunflower seeds are some sources of fat, and fat is a source of stored energy. Fat ke andar, when you eat this, fat is a source of stored energy which you can consume. But all these things can give you fats. So carbohydrates and fats, they provide you with energy for performing these activities. They are energy giving you. They are providing you with energy. So that's why they are known as energy giving foods. So at your age, it's very important to consume milk. Okay, eat cashew, eat badam, almonds, sunflower seeds, walnuts, groundnuts, moongfali. Fantastic. You need to have butter. At your age, it's saying over a period of time, thoda sa intake you will have to reduce. Ghee, homemade ghee, fantastic. Bahar ka ghee, not so fantastic. Okay, so identify more food items that are rich in carbohydrates and fats. You can Google, discuss it with your parents, and they will be able to tell you. Information point. Polar bears accumulate a lot of fat under their skin. This fat serves as an energy source. It supports them during the months, long winter months, where they hibernate, in the sense that वहां पे food intake वगैरह नहीं होता है, so they can survive without eating. Okay, when it is extremely cold. तीसरा पॉइंट, कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स और फैट्स के बाद तीसरा है प्रोटीन्स. नाउ इफ यू हैव एन एल्डर ब्रदर या कोई नेबरहुड में हो जो मसल वगैरह बनाता हो, वो प्रोटीन शेक पीने की बात करता है ना. माय नेव्यू यूज्ड टू बी मेजर इनटू बॉडी बिल्डिंग एट वन टाइम. आजकल नहीं है, बट एट दैट टाइम जब देखो प्रोटीन शेक ही पीता रहता था. यू नो, यू यूज्ड टू हैव 10 डिफरेंट कंटेनर्स एटसेट्रा. सो प्रोटीन्स आर एन इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ आवर फूड, but it's more important to consume food which can give you proteins naturally. Okay, so milk products and pulses, dal and milk products are good sources of protein. So aapke breakfast, lunch or dinner mein milk products, which can be milk, dahi, paneer, butter, should be part of your diet, and pulses of any kind, that should definitely be part of your diet because they give you proteins. Sports persons need proteins in large quantities to build their muscles. Very important. So people get proteins from both plant sources as well as animal sources. So some excellent sources of proteins are, the plant sources are moong dal, बढ़िया टेस्ट रहता है, grams, peas, tur dal, that is अरहर की दाल, kidney beans यानी कि राजमा, and soya bean. These are the plant sources. Peas मतलब मटर. Okay. Animal sources, for those who are non-vegetarian, can look at fish and chicken. Among these others, you can eat, as I said, paneer, eggs, and milk. So these are animal-based sources. These are for proteins. Now, so the right amount of protein must be included in the diet of growing children for their proper growth and development. And that's very important. Mushrooms, they grow in dark and moist places, and they're also good source of proteins. But many people don't like to eat mushroom. Like I don't eat mushroom. But mushroom, for those who like it, is also a good source of protein. So ये सब तो हो गया. अब देखते हैं केस स्टडी. पहले होता ये था कि जो लोग समुद्र पे काफी दिनों के लिए जाते थे, महीनों महीनों तक रहते थे, sailors, they suffered from bleeding and swollen gums. Okay. So during a voyage in 1746, Scottish physician James Lind observed that sailors who consumed lemon, nimbu, या orange, they recovered from these symptoms because bleeding and swollen gums are symptoms of a disease called scurvy. ये आपको याद रखने की जरूरत है. Okay, what is scurvy करके पूछा जा सकता था. And who was the physician who was involved in the remedy or the discovery of the fact that lemons and oranges can prevent bleeding gums or swollen gums, right? So this particular case study is important from a question answer point of view. So इससे पता चलता है कि लेमन यानी कि नींबू और ऑरेंज से क्या मिलता है, विटामिन सी. ओके, सो विटामिन सी अगर मिलना है ऑरेंज या नींबू आई मीन नींबू इन योर फूड एटसेट्रा कैन बी यूजफुल इन ऑर्डर टू गिव यू विटामिन सी. सो स्कर्वी ना होने के लिए आपको नींबू और ऑरेंज का सेवन करना चाहिए. दूसरा केस स्टडी. What was found in the 1960s is that people in the hilly areas, their necks were swollen. Now you see this particular illustration. The neck of this particular person is swollen. Okay, that was because the salt that they were consuming, the namak that they were consuming, uppu, what we say in Tamil, did not have iodine in it. That's when the campaign started that you should consume only iodized salt. Okay, so the every salt packet was then mixed with iodine. So consumption of iodized salt reduced these symptoms of swollen neck, which was called a disease called goiter. Okay, ये भी important है. What is scurvy? What is goiter? And what is the reason for these diseases? आपसे पूछा जा सकता है. So please remember this. So basically, the deficiency of iodine in the soil, it resulted in a lack of iodine in the local food because they would be eating the locally grown crops, right? So us zameen par, in the hilly areas, there was a deficiency of iodine in the soil, as a result of which people got this disease called goiter. So isliye iodized salt was consumed. So you would have read ads, etc., that you should always consume iodized salt. Salt farming, you remember, you know the Dandi March. You may not have read about it. Mahatma Gandhi did the Dandi March till Dandi to collect salt from the seashore. So salt farming is a traditional practice of a tribal community called Agariyas. They practice salt farming in the Run of Kutch, that is along the Gujarat coast. And for 8 months, they live in extreme heat of the desert and work very hard to get salt from salt seawater. Okay, that's how we get our salt. So this Agariyas नाम को जरा याद रख लेना. Now let's do a survey. ये आप सर्वे कीजिए, पता कीजिए अपने नेबरहुड में, पड़ोस में, in consultation with your school teacher. This table is very important. I want you to take a printout of this particular page, put it on a wall or on a notice board at your home. Very important. Even in school, I would advise teachers to do the same. And this is a very important table, so I'm going to take time to explain this. Vitamin A. Why is vitamin A important? And this is important even from the question and answer point of view. Vitamin A is important because it keeps your eyes and skin healthy, right? Eyes in particular. Because if you have a deficiency of vitamin A, it can lead to loss of vision. That is, chashma lagana padega. I don't know how many of you wear specs. I started wearing specs when I was in class 9 or 10. I don't recall. Class 10. 9 or 10. But I see children now who are as young as in class 4, 5, 6, etc. wearing specs. Why do they wear specs? Because iPad, tablet, mobile phone, games, video games, all that light falling on your eyes and the lack of vitamin A. So how do you get vitamin A? You need to eat papaya, you need to eat carrot, you need to eat mangoes. I mean, during the summer months, during the mango season, and you need to drink milk. So please, if your mother insists that you need to drink milk, Mummy, nahi kaun, nahi piyunga, mat bolna. Papaya, wonderful fruit. Carrot, I love gajar. Right? So please make sure that these two are definitely part of your breakfast, and milk, of course, right? So that you prevent poor vision or loss of vision कि रात के अंधेरे में आपको ना दिखता हो, because people who suffer from poor eyesight, I mean, it's not a good thing, right? Next, let's come to vitamin B. और आजकल vitamin B की तो गोलियां खाते हैं लोग, okay, especially vitamin B12. So it keeps heart healthy and supports body to perform various functions. And if you don't have, if you have a deficiency of vitamin B, you will have swelling or burning sensation in feet and hands and trouble in breathing. Very important. So vitamin B basically keeps the heart healthy. So it has a direct correlation with the heart. दिल के लिए ये दिल का विटामिन है. B1 is दिल का विटामिन. Vitamin C, very important. We already studied the disease it leads to is scurvy. Bleeding gums, wounds take long time to heal. So you need to eat amrud, gawa, green chili, orange, lemon, and amla. Amla, your mother can make. If you find it difficult, my mother and grandmother used to pluck amla from the tree in their childhood and eat it. And then if you drink water, my mother tells me, water tastes very sweet. It's almost like drinking sweet water. However, if you find, because वो थोड़ा सा not kadwa, it's a little, it gives you a tangling kind of a taste. If your mother or anyone in your family, your grandmother, your aunt can make amle ka achar. My mother makes one of the best amle ka achar. Okay, it's not an advertisement, but her amla ka achar is fabulous. So wo khao with rice, with roti, anything can you think it's top class. So ye मैं आपको recommendation. Now this is sounding a bit like Master Chef India, नहीं? Anyway, let's आगे बढ़ते हैं. विटामिन डी करने के लिए कुछ खाने की जरूरत नहीं है. धूप खाओ, धूप में फिरो. The more exposure you get to sunlight, you will get your natural vitamin D. The sunlight is the best source of vitamin D, which is why you find people who do night shifts and sleep through the day, they are deficient in vitamin D. People who work in IT offices, call centers, BPOs, they have problems of deficiency of vitamin D. Whereas you will never find a construction worker or a civil engineer ever saying that I have deficiency of vitamin D, because वो field पर काम करता है, उसको धूप लगती रहती है. या किसान को, a farmer will never complain of deficiency of vitamin D. Why? And this is the kind of questions that your teacher should ask you. A farmer does not complain of deficiency of vitamin D. Why? Right? A night watchman said he has deficiency in vitamin D. Why? Right? So use your brain. दिमाग लगाओ. और सीबीएसई में इसी तरह के एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाएंगे, जहां पर आपको दिमाग लगाना पड़ेगा. सीधा सीधा आपसे नहीं पूछेंगे, वो भी पूछ सकते हैं, बट I would advise teachers to set question papers where you ask these kind of application based questions. So vitamin D, exposure to sunlight is the best source. Apart from that, milk, butter, fish, eggs also give you vitamin D. If you don't have that, you will end up having soft and bent bones, which I'm sure none of you want. The disease is called rickets. These are all the names of the deficiency disease or disorder. And vitamin D helps body absorb calcium, and it's good for the health of your teeth. Then you have calcium, which again comes from milk products, milk, curd, cheese, paneer. It keeps bones and teeth healthy. So which is why your parents would have told you, drink milk for calcium. Otherwise, you could have bone and tooth decay. This is the problem which comes. Iodine, we've already spoken about it. Salt, otherwise it could lead to a disease called goiter, swelling at the front of the neck. This is what happens. And iron, lohe ke liye, palak khao. Green leafy vegetables khao. Beetroot, pomegranate, that beautiful red fruit. You should have pomegranate, beetroot. I remember my sister used to hate beetroot. Okay, मैं beetroot नहीं खाऊंगी करके. I mean, doing all these videos takes me back to my childhood. So because iron, you need iron because it's an important component of your blood in your arteries and veins, right? Otherwise, you could have anemia. What is anemia? It would make you feel very weak. It could make you feel short of breath, and you would look very pale. You would not look healthy. Your skin will be very pale, very white, yellowish. It would not look glowing. So for that, you need to have iron in your diet. So ये chart बहुत important है. Figure number 3.5 is very important. I am marking it with a star here. I want you to take a printout and put this on your table. Very important. And discuss this with your parents and grandparents. Now you have learned that vitamins A, B, C, and D and minerals like calcium, iodine, and iron are two groups of food components, vitamins and minerals. हमने अभी तक carbohydrates, fats, proteins वगैरह के बारे में पढ़ा था. Now new this thing, vitamins and minerals. Okay. So how do we overcome vitamin and mineral deficiency disorders? ऐसा क्या कर सकते हैं कि हमको ना हो? So recap, revision time. Vitamin A के लिए you have mango, gajar, papaya, milk. Vitamin B के लिए flax seeds, which comes from the flax plant, wheat, milk, paneer, pumpkin seeds, and rice. विटामिन सी के लिए ऑरेंज, guava, green chilies, lemon, amla, and tomato. And for vitamin D, you have eggs, fish, milk, butter, and mushroom. So revision bhi ho gaya. Now, all these different food components, which are all trying to protect you, they are providing you with energy, they are helping you to ensure, they're helping that you will in some way or the other prevent yourself from any kind of disease, and they help maintain all kind of bodily function. They're all called as nutrients. Nutrients से word आता है nutrition. Okay, nutrition. So they provide you with nutrition. So the major nutrients in our food include what? Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. ये पांच है. ये पांचों याद करो. CPFVM याद रख लो. पहला पहला वर्ड से याद रख लो. CPFVM कोड याद रख लो. कभी भी नहीं भूलेगा. अपने नोटिस बोर्ड पे कहीं आपके टेबल पे कहीं भी लिख लो. CPFVM नहीं भूलेगा. Now, vitamins and minerals, the number 4 and 5, they are also called protective nutrients. भला क्यों? Because they protect your body from diseases, ताकि आपको किसी भी तरह का disease ना हो, ताकि आप बिल्कुल स्वस्थ रहें, so that you remain absolutely healthy. And your parents may have advised you to drink milk, green vegetables. I have said that enough number of times. So now the other thing is, should we eat food raw or cooked? Cooked vegetables में होता क्या है कि some of the nutrients चले जाते हैं, because you are putting it under heated conditions, you are steaming it up, so the vegetables tend to lose some of their nutritional value. So it's always advisable if you can eat something uncooked or raw. However, it's very important that whatever you are eating, you wash it very well before you eat. If you are getting a carrot to eat, ensure that you wash it properly and then tuck karke you can eat it. No problem at all. So that's what, like my mother used to say, amla पेड़ से तोड़ा, धोया नलके के नीचे and खा लिया, right? That's what you used to do. Tomatoes, you can do the same thing, right? So anything eaten uncooked, always better, provided you wash it properly, because they come from all over the place, so you don't know under what conditions they have been transported to your kitchen or refrigerator. Do we obtain all nutrients from plants and animals? No. Like salt is from seawater and vitamin D is from sunlight, right? So we have already discussed that. Fruits and vegetables are rich in dietary fibers. Now, this is another important thing. Why is this dietary fiber important? Because of this factor. Because you need that kind of fiber. They are not providing nutrients, but what they do is to ensure that smooth passage of food and to ensure कि कोई undigested food हो उसको body से बाहर निकाला जाए. So a kind of fiber is required. And what is this fiber provided by? Green vegetables. The best fresh fruits and green vegetables. Palak kind of vegetables are very good for that. Pulses and nuts also, but green vegetables are considered the best. So hafte mein at least 2 bari ensure that you have methi, palak kind of vegetables in your diet, in your lunch or breakfast. Okay. Eating food that is locally grown and plant-based to the maximum extent, this thing is always healthy for thing. Water is an important part of our diet. The more water you drink, always better. And especially अगर आप humid conditions में रहते हैं, या summer के महीने में, या मुंबई, चेन्नई, विशाखापट्टनम, कोलकाता, कोची जैसे शहरों में रहते हैं, where there is more humidity. So what you do is you sweat much more. So when you are sweating, the body is losing water. It's also losing salts. So you need to ensure that you have a lot of water along with salts, so that body ka balance bigde nahi. The body ka balance bana rahega. Okay. So that's something important. This particular gentleman who passed away in 2019 is known as the father of nutrition in India. His name is Kolathur Gopalan from Kerala. And he analyzed more than 500 Indian foods for their nutritional value and recommended an appropriate diet in the Indian context. So he because of what he did, they started something called a PM Poshan initiative to provide balanced food in the government-run schools in the country. जो मिड डे मील स्कीम होता है ना, उसमें हमेशा एक अंडा दिया जाता है, एक बनाना दिया जाता है, राइस दिया जाता है या चपाती दिया जाता है इन अदर स्टेट्स जहां पे राइस नहीं खाते हैं, एक सब्जी, एक करी वगैरह दिया जाता है, कर्ड दिया जाता है. सो इन ऑर्डर टू इंश्योर कि उस पर्टिकुलर मिड डे मील जो लंच दिया जाता है बच्चों को, उसमें पूरा न्यूट्रिशन हो, कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स, फैट्स, प्रोटीन्स, मिनरल्स, विटामिन्स, सब कुछ हो, नमक, सब कुछ हो. That's very important. So this particular gentleman, Koluthur Gopalan, was instrumental, and he is known as the father of nutrition of India. Now, how do you test different components of food? Now, these are different tests which your teacher will decide whether he or she wants to do it or not do it, but we will go through it quickly. Now, there is something called starch. Okay. In Tamil, we call it kanji. I don't know what it is called in Hindi. It is a form of carbohydrate. So all these can be found out through simple tests that you can do in the laboratory. What's the test for starch? So what you do is that you take, let's say, aloo. You take a slice of aloo, ya kheera, cucumber, right? So you take that, like this particular illustration is showing. You place a bit of it and put diluted iodine solution on that food item. If any of that turns into blue or black or bluish black, that means it has starch in it. It has starch in it. Now, starch is good and bad. It is good from natural sources, but if it is taken from some kind of processed foods, that starch is not considered to be healthy. So, वो starch को consume करना health के लिए अच्छा नहीं माना जाता. So, that's something which you need to know. एक मिनट मैं जल्दी से I will just do स्टार्च का हिंदी भी स्टार्च ही लिखा है. ओके, स्टार्च को हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं? मांड करके कुछ है, वर्ड है मांड, मेरे को नहीं मालूम है. आई हैव नॉट हर्ड अबाउट इट. इसे आम भाषा में मांड, जैसे चावल का मांड कहते हैं. ओके, वो चावल का पानी जब निकालो, वो जो निकलता है, दैट इज लाइक स्टार्च. ओके, as I said, in fact, in South Indian states, they even drink that. It's considered to be highly nutritious. My grandmother, who lived to the age of 101, she used to drink it quite regularly. Just put some salt in it and drink it. It's called kanji. In Kerala and Tamil Nadu, etc., it's very popular. Then starch हो गया. Then उसके बाद fats के लिए what you do is that if you cover it up with a piece of paper, and if there is oil or butter, that is fat in that, it will leave an oily patch on that paper. So that will be the test for fat. Okay. Then test for proteins. Now these are to be done in a lab, so I don't think you need to do that, but please take the advice of your school teacher, because all this has to be done under some kind of controlled conditions, especially that for protein. That is, you are asked to make a powder or a paste of the food items by kind of mashing it, smashing it, and grinding it, and put half teaspoon of each food item in a separate clean test tube, and add teaspoons of water. Copper sulfate solution, आपको copper sulfate तो कहीं से नहीं मिलेगा, and I'm not sure whether class 6 में they will give you access to the lab, so I don't think this is going to happen. And then add 10 drops of caustic soda. And then see, in this you're showing it with the teacher, so only a teacher can do it, you cannot do it. And so there will be a violet color which will indicate the presence of proteins. तो आपको ये step by step हर टेस्ट में क्या होता है उसको याद कर लीजिए, irrespective of whether you are doing the test yourself or not doing it. So हर इसका please observe the what is the test to be done, what is the test, and what is the observation. Okay, what is the observation and what is the conclusion. Okay, ये तीन चीजें आपको याद रखनी पड़ेंगी. And what is the test for. Okay, what is the test for, ये चारों चीजें आपको याद रखनी पड़ेंगी, so that you can mention that in a question and answer. Okay, so this is the entire table based on whether you do the test or not. So the balanced diet, is it the same for everyone? No. As I said, as you grow up in age, you reduce your sugar intake. Now, for instance, I'm not diabetic, but I have decided on my own that I would now reduce my sugar intake. Okay, in my family, touch wood, there is nobody who is diabetic, which is very good thing. Otherwise, it kind of passes on. But even then, you should always do caution. So what I've done is morning coffee के साथ मैंने चीनी लेना बंद कर दिया है. It doesn't matter. Okay, so you cut off the sugar, and I take only one coffee in a day. So I drink bitter coffee, milk के साथ, but I don't you put sugar in it at all. Or some people will reduce. Earlier they were taking 2 teaspoons, now they will take half teaspoon. So you can kind of reduce that kind of thing. So your grandparents may have reduced their sugar, also reduced their salt to an extent, but never completely cut off salt. That can be dangerous because you need salt in your body. Also in your food, you need to take salt. So it's always very important that what is a balanced diet. Now this is important. A balanced diet is something which has all the nutrients, जो 5 चीजें हमने बताई है ना, C, P, F, V, M, then roughage in the form of green vegetables, etc., and water. That is what is called a balanced diet, because that helps you in proper growth and development of the body. Okay, so have a look at your diet. Is there something which I'm missing out based on this lesson? Which is why I say this lesson is extremely important, right? Now, अब आते हैं मजे की बात. लेफ्ट वाली चीजें आप सब लोग खाते होंगे, कई सारे ब्रांड्स आते हैं, लेस, अंकल चिप्स वगैरह, राइट. दूसरी तरफ है, दिस इज बेसिकली रोस्टेड चना, राइट. लेफ्ट वाला इज अनहेल्दी, इज जंक फूड, जिसको एक खाओ तो खाने का मन करता रहता है. मैंने भी खाया है, मैं ये नहीं कहूंगा कि मैं बहुत ही अच्छा हूं, मैं भी खाता था, सबका खाने का मन करता है, बट you should never have it in excess. Excess of anything is bad. Whereas now you look at ये table पढ़ोगे आपको खुद समझ में आ जाएगा. Now this particular thing gives you so many calories, 536 kilocalories, 100 grams का packet. Fat 335, carbohydrates 53, protein 7 grams, and dietary fiber 4.8. However, अगर आप roasted चना खाएंगे, which is also very tasty, it gives you less calories, it gives you less fats, which is good. You should not have too much of fat also, but it gives you more carbohydrates, it gives you more proteins, it gives you more dietary fiber. So इसमें से अच्छा कौन सा है ये बताओ. So based on the nutritional information, which food will you choose? Now होता क्या है that some foods have high calories, like this potato wafers, because उसमें sugar ज़्यादा होता है, fat content ज़्यादा होता है, but they contain very less of proteins, minerals, vitamins, and dietary fiber. Okay, which is why they are called junk food. Junk मतलब जो बेकार है. कोका-कोला पियो, कैंडी बार खाओ, या इस तरह का potato wafers खाओ, they are all considered unhealthy junk food. So कम करो बंधु, कम करो. Okay. You should not have this on a regular basis. Once in 10 days, fine. Whereas you should have more healthy kind of food, because health is wealth. Carbonated, aerated drinks should be an absolute no-no. Never drink all these aerated drinks. Okay. Packaged food items. हर पैकेट आप देखें, कोई भी आप अपने सुपरमार्केट में जाएंगे कल. Okay. You see there, every packet pay, you will see this particular sign which is there, FSSAI, which is the full form of Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. This is a government body which regulates food quality in India, which means that every food packet is supposed to mention इसमें इतना sugar है, इसमें इतना calories है. Okay, ये खाने से इतना calories मिलेगा, इसमें अगर salted है तो salt इतना है. You will find different nutrients के बारे में, the breakup will be mentioned in great detail. Fat, everything. It is mandated, it is compulsory for every food item to do so. Now let's come to what should you eat. Okay, jawar, bajra, ragi and sanva, these are native crops. In fact, आजकल तो बोलते हैं कि rice भी नहीं खाना चाहिए, especially the polished rice. You should reduce it. Like for my mother, who is 75 now, she eats a lot of this ragi, jawar, those kind of things, they make it because it's more healthy, or they take the what is called the unpolished rice, or something called the red rice. So that's what they eat, which is more nutritious, because these nutritious grains are called as millets, and they are small sized grains and have been an integral part of the Indian diet. For if you go to rural part of India, you will find jawar और बाजरे की रोटी लोग ज्यादा खाते हैं. Okay, ragi mudde in Karnataka is very famous because they are good source of vitamins, minerals like iron and calcium, and also roughage में help करते हैं, dietary fiber. So that's why they are known as nutri cereals. That is cereals which provide nutrition. Nutri cereals means cereals which provide, cereals matlab all these different kind of food items, jawar, bajra, etc., which provide nutrition, and they help in better balanced diet. So a jawar ki roti is always better than a gehu ki roti. Okay, so going forward, that is the way we are almost going back to how our ancestors lived. They lived a more healthy kind of life. How does the food from the crop field reach our plate? From the field to our dining table. So what is the process? So इस chart में आपको पता चल जाएगा. The seed is being sown, then it is being harvested. You can see in these two drawings. Then it is being threshed, especially rice and wheat वगैरह को thresh करते हैं ताकि उसमें से दाना निकले, and then it is sent to the factory where it is kept like this in different sacks, and then it is sent for grinding ताकि उसका आटा निकले. From there it comes in the form of packets to your supermarket, and then it comes, once it is made into chapatis and rotis, it comes as food on the plate. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. इसको मैं 1, इसको मैं 2 की तरह count कर रहा हूं. That is sowing, growing, and then harvesting. So ये 3 है, 4, ये 5, 6, and then so it's a 7-step process by which the food arrives on your plate in your home. So this entire distance that is traveled by a bag of wheat or any other food item from the producer. Who is the producer? The farmer. Who is the consumer? You and I are the consumers. It is known as food miles. Food miles matlab that the distance covered is called food miles. Reducing food miles is very important because उससे क्या होगा, दाम कम होगा. इस पे कहां पे कर सकते हैं? इसमें अगर ये वाला जो स्टोरेज गोडाउन है वो खेत के पास होगा, so then the transportation cost will be less, because by the time it reaches the supermarket, in सब का दाम is added on. That's what you and I are paying when we buy let's say a 5 kg का आटा from the supermarket. Okay, वो होता है कुछ 300 रुपए का. That is हर kg about 60 rupees. So that 60 rupees includes the cost which has to be paid to the farmer, to the person who is threshing and winnowing it, to the godown owner, to the fellow who has made it into atta, and then finally the supermarket person. उन सबको पैसा जाता है. That's what you are paying for every kg of atta of wheat, right? So you need to support local farmers. So अगर वो कम होगा, the cost आपका और हमारा cost भी कम होगा, farmer को भी ज्यादा मिल सकता है, and the food also will be fresh. कि अभी harvest किया, कल grind किया, आज हमको packet मिल गया, so the food will also be very fresh. Finally, never waste food. Food is, Annapurna. Food should never be wasted because a lot of effort goes into making that food. Not just your mother, not just your parent, but the farmer, the person who is threshing it, the person who is grinding it. Everybody has put in effort in order to put food on your plate. So never ever waste any part of your food, whether at home or at the hotel or शादी पे जाओ. जितना चाहिए उतना ही खाओ, उतना ही अपने प्लेट पे डालो ताकि तुम खाने को वेस्ट नहीं करो. You should always respect food because there are many people in this world who go without food in their stomach. So think about that. So you should not waste any food. So eat healthy and respect food. So let's look quickly at the keywords: carbohydrates, fats. ये सब तो the 5 things so you should know definitely. and things like roughage and all the different diseases like scurvy, goiter, all those things you should know. Beriberi, eye vision, loss of eye vision, everything you should know. So summary ek bari pad lena. Now that you have gone through the entire thing, the summary will help you revise, okay, the entire chapter, and then we will look at question and answers baad mein. In any case, aapko, once you have understood the chapter, you will not find any difficulty, and I've highlighted what all are important. Just go back and revise that maybe tomorrow, day after, so that it kind of remains imprinted on your mind. Okay, मजा आया मुझे. I hope आपको भी मजा आया. As I said, share the video with your friends and classmates. Subscribe to the channel so that we can make CBSE with Sudhir the one-stop channel for every subject as far as CBSE Classics is concerned. Okay, tata, bye bye. God bless you. Namaskar.